What is up? It is Coach coming at you with some phenomenal information that you really need to take to heart, because back in 1954, nobody believed that you were able to beat the 4-minute mile. In fact, what the doctors had actually preached to you is if you even attempted it, you were likely to break bones, to tear muscles, to tear tendons, that it was physically impossible. That was pre-1954. The 4-minute mile did not exist. In 1954, all of that changed. Despite everyone accepting that this was the truth, that it was physically impossible. A gentleman, Roger Bannister, crushed the 4-minute mile. And he was fine, right? When he crushed the 4-minute mile, he crushed everybody's self-limiting beliefs that it cannot be done. And you know what happened in 1954? Over the next 16 months, 11 more people achieved the 4-minute mile. 11 people. All of a sudden. Why? Because of self-limiting beliefs. How did that happen? Seeing is believing. The demonstration was proof. All they had to see was that it is possible, and they could achieve, and limits were crushed. There's a gentleman, Earl Nightingale. He's one of the founders, one of the principals back in 1950s. In the 1950s, he was one of the fathers of personal development. He hosted a radio show between 1950 and 1956, and he had a phenomenal show called The Strangest Secret. Strangest Secret is about 30 minutes long. You should check it on YouTube. It's totally in the public domain. But to outline it here, The Strangest Secret is a 30-day challenge that you have to be successful by paying the price. Right? And these are direct quotes from him. That you must understand emotionally as well as intellectually that we literally become what we think about, that we must painstakingly control our thoughts in order to control our lives. That we need to know through and through that we are what we think about. Our mind has the ability to control who we are. If we think negative, we are a negative person. If we think we are positive or successful, that we attract those characteristics. You've heard it before. Surround yourself with people you are like. All right? The second one, that it's cutting all fetters. These are how to be successful by paying the price. It's cutting all fetters from the mind and allowing it to soar like it was intended to do. To realize that your limitations are self-imposed and that your opportunities are enormous above all belief. That only you can limit yourself. You are the only one that is standing in your way. That you can achieve whatever you want. You may have those obstacles. We all do. But you can get past them, and you must believe that you can. You must know it in your heart of hearts, through and through, emotionally, intellectually, that you can achieve it. Third, the last one, is using all of your courage to think positively, to create a definite and defined goal for yourself, to let your imagination speculate free on all possible solutions, to refuse to believe that there are any circumstances that will defeat you in your purpose, to act promptly and decisively. And that right now in this moment, you are standing in your own acre of diamonds. You must act impulsively, promptly, decisively. You must do it now. You cannot wait for later. You must do it now. That you must allow your imagination to entertain the idea that I can do this, I can achieve this. That you must have a defined goal for yourself. You must know exactly what you are shooting for. And that right now, when all of that comes together, you have that capability. You can achieve that. You are standing in your own land of diamonds. You see, it's action. It's action. Ideas are worthless if it were not for the action, for doing it, right? You must have the courage to focus on what you want to achieve and keep going when it's difficult. You see, that 4-minute mile, what's keeping you from thinking that you can achieve the impossible as well, right? 11 people over the next 16 months who were told they cannot do it, they did. And more have done it since. Self-limiting beliefs, that is what holds us back. So what makes you think that you are different? That if you just can get by with drinking less water, that you don't have to eat right all the time, that you don't need to exercise all the time, that you don't need to have that top of mind awareness, that you don't need to surround yourself with like-minded people that can lift you up. What makes you think that? Because you are no different than anybody else. You are no different than me. You are no different than the rest of our fitness family. That we know in our heart of hearts, diet and exercise, that's what we got to do. You need to be much more active. We hear it all the time. Start moving more. Start eating less, right? You gotta move more. You gotta eat less. In some circumstances, it's a little bit flip-flop. That's why we work with you. You are no different than anybody else out there. You must. If you want to achieve any body transformation goals, what you were doing is not enough to get you where you were. Otherwise, you'd be there right now. And we wouldn't be having this talk. You would not be listening to this and comprehending this and saying, yes, this is right. I need to do this. I have to do this. I have to get rid of those self-limiting beliefs. I can run a 4-minute mile. It will take time, but I am just as capable as anybody else. I just need some more time. I just need to put in the effort. I need to practice. Nobody can run the 4-minute mile just off of the street. You develop the skill. You develop the ability. Just like you must hone that skill and hone that ability to lose weight, to get stronger, to change your body, to transform through and through, emotionally and intellectually. You must stop thinking about fear, because fear would just stop us, right? And worry leads to fear. So you must entertain the idea and confuse your mind, right? What's the word? I can't think of it. Where substitute the idea of worry. Distracted, that's the word. You must distract your mind. If you start worrying, distract it. What I do when I get distracted, when I'm down on myself, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to achieve this. Man, I just don't have the time. I got so much work to do. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to pick up the kids. I'm just like you. I know what it's like. I've got one business here. I got one business back home. I'm working with a ton of you guys one-on-one, reaching out to you guys reaching back out to me. I got 2 kids in school. I got a wife that's going through lots of stresses right now. I understand. I do. But we are no different. We have to make time for our priorities. And worry will only lead to fear. Right? Every time that a fearful or the negative thought comes into your mind, you must replace it with a positive one. And in fact, I'm going to leave you with just this. Back in the 1950s, and I would suggest, make the argument that it's still about the same. Only 5% of people are successful. They deem their own success. I don't care what your success is, but only 5% are actually genuinely, when they look at it all, their life, they feel good and they're successful. And I know from talking to tons of people that a lot of that success is really intertwined with the way they feel about themselves. If you don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel successful. I understand that. And that's why this applies here. But only 5%. And that's why we're so restrictive about who we let come into the family. Because realistically, not everybody's going to be ready for it. And if you're listening to this, it's because I believe in you. I believe that you are capable of this. I saw that in you, that you are able to be successful, that you can continue that success, that you can initiate that success, whatever your success is. I see that drive and that passion in you. And what you must do right now, as always, you must put yourself into that 5% group. You must know where you are going. And you'll have to already know that you are in that top 5%, where virtually nothing is impossible, where you can achieve it because there is no self-limiting beliefs. And when you do have a self-limiting belief, you throw it out, you distract it, you replace it with a positive belief. And what you need to do is you need to focus on all of the success that you have had. Man, God, I just don't feel good. I'm so sick. I'm never going to make it to the gym. It's so busy. I'm stressed out. I've lost 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months. I feel better. You know, a year ago, I felt like crap. I was sick. I was on meds. Now I feel really good. I can go up the stairs. Or I've lost 50 pounds. I don't care where you're at. Focus on those successes. Replace it. This is Coach with Live Fitness. This is what you need to do. You need to replace. You need to replace those self-limiting beliefs. You need to follow this plan. You need to put yourself in that 5% because I see in you that success. That's why you're here with us. That's why you're part of the family.